Gamer says they showed market improvement but have more to do. Yeah, I don't know. Going into the SEC schedule, this is a very intriguing team. This is going to be very fun to watch because this can go so many different ways for LSU. It can go very, very south because of that offensive line. It can go downhill very quickly. Or that offensive line can figure it out just enough to give Max Johnson just enough time to make some of these sick-ass throws. Our play calling will be hopefully a lot more crisper, a lot more philosophically sound with the high octane pedal to the metal offensive tempo that we're running tonight. And the defense can hopefully continue to be stout against the run and can hopefully continue to create these sacks, these tackles for loss. I believe this is our second straight game with 15-plus tackles for loss. We got to keep that going. The interception by Major Burns was awesome. We got to keep the interceptions coming in. The fumbles, the forced fumble by Stingley, the defensive touchdown, first defensive touchdown of the year. We got to get more of those. This defense still has some big mistakes in them, though. They still allowed some big chunk yards to Central Michigan. Let's see here. Central Michigan still had a 78-yard catch, 78-yard touchdown catch on LSU. Unacceptable. We still allowed 5 guys to make a catch of 10-plus yards. They rushed for only 56 yards, 1.8 yard. That was fantastic. But 228 total yards passing against us, 25 completions, 2 touchdowns, of course the interception. That is pretty sloppy. That's probably a lot of the second team guys, but at the same time, it's still sloppy. It still shows that we cannot really cover that crossing route when it comes down to it. Still can't really cover tight ends. Central Michigan are just not a type of team that's going to be able to exploit that against LSU on a routine game-to-game basis. But others will be. I know Alabama suffered tonight. There's a lot of clues, a lot of detail there in that Florida game of how to beat Alabama this season. And a lot of it has to do with how weak they are in the trenches. Can LSU improve enough to expose that? I think the defensive line can. You saw veteran guys like Neil Farrell Jr. just being awesome. You saw, I guess, like Jacobian Guillory, Mason Smith being hungry as hell, Jaquelin Roy, B.J. Ojolari with 2 more sacks, Andre Anthony with a defensive touchdown, some more pressures. If our defensive line can continue that high-octane improvement, play up to their abilities, but then if our offensive line can also just match that, even just play beyond their maximum, just reach deep in themselves, because Max is going to take some big hits. Can we just limit those? Can we just find a way to navigate the SEC without allowing our starter to go down with an injury? Can we, I'm worried about our running backs behind this offensive line. But how many games will LSU lose in the SEC? I'm going to ask you all right now, whoever's watching. I don't even know how many people are watching right now. It doesn't really matter to me. But anyone who is, how many wins are LSU? How many losses? What's going to be our record in the SEC this season?